Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Troy Fautanu's emotional draft call from Steelers. Troy Fautanu grew up idolizing Troy Polamalu, and he will now get to walk in his hero's footsteps after the Pittsburgh Steelers took him with the 20th overall pick in the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft. When he got the call from Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin, informing him that he was headed to Pittsburgh, Fautanu was emotional. He put his head in his hands before watching Cam Hayward announce the pick live and celebrating with his family. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for Fautanu during the first night of the NFL Draft. There was an early run of offensive tackles in the first half of the first round that Fautanu wasn't a part of. As he dropped well past his expected slot, Fautanu seemed annoyed that he hadn't been picked as high as some projections had him. We were laughing at him a little bit earlier because he looked angry because some tackles were coming off, but you want that, Tomlin said. You want that. You want a guy who takes it personally, and I think he does. He just shows all the signs of a type of guy that we want to do business with. It's important to him. Fautanu admitted that he did take it somewhat personally that so many tackles were picked before him, but once the call came in, his anger turned to relief. Now he has a clear path to an immediate starting job, but above all else he gets to live every football player's dream, landing as a first-round pick and potential cornerstone player for his favorite team, and that made him understandably emotional. I was a little crybaby, I'm not going to lie, Fautanu said. It was very nerve-wracking just up to that point. I'm just so happy things happened the way they did and I was able to get drafted by a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm super excited. Tim Benz, plenty to like about Steelers' first pick, but there's one way they can make us love it. There is a lot to like about the Pittsburgh Steelers' 2024 first-round draft pick, Washington offensive tackle Troy Fautanu. He has unusually long arms. He's one of the best athletes I've ever seen play the position, former pro and college scout Matt Williamson told us during our draft preview series. He looks like a running back out there. It's fun tape. Even if you don't think O-line tape is close to being fun, his is really fun. Coach Mike Tomlin also gushed about what he saw from Fautanu on film. His talents were highlighted by how Washington utilized his talents schematically, Tomlin said Thursday night. You saw everything you wanted to see. You saw him out in space in their perimeter game. Crack toss. Wide receiver screens. Great in the run game. A great drop-back pass protector. So that's what I like about the pick. There is one way to make me love it. This is a crazy idea, but hang with me. Actually play him. I'm not at all skeptical of Fautanu's ability to play tackle in the NFL. I'm skeptical that the Steelers will insert him into the lineup fast enough. I'm worried that they'll slow-roll his development as they did Broderick Jones last year when he sat behind two tackles that he was probably superior to for an unnecessary length of time. It wasn't until right tackle Chuck Okorafor popped off on the sideline during a Week 8 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars that Tomlin felt comfortable enough inserting Jones into the starting lineup full-time. Okorafor created his own excuse to be benched because Tomlin for whatever reason needed one to start playing a guy that he traded up to acquire a few months earlier. Don't do that again with Fautanu. The team's obsession with proving how much playing time they can get out of Dan Moore Jr. at left tackle has run its course. The guy was a fourth-round pick 3 years ago. He's given the franchise 49 starts. He's proven his worth. They've maxed out the value of that pick. The organization has drafted 2 left tackles in the first round over the last 2 years. The Steelers need tackles who are great. Particularly in Arthur Smith's run-heavy offense, and for a new quarterback in Russell Wilson who holds onto the ball a long time while hunting for deep throws. Moore hasn't been great. He's been good enough to keep the job, but not good enough so that the front office hasn't been looking to replace him before he hits free agency at the end of the year. Tomlin and General Manager Omar Khan need to believe in their own course of action on this one. If they had long-term plans for more, they wouldn't be repeatedly picking guys in the first round who play his position. They would have been talking to him about a contract extension this offseason instead. Moore should be a swing tackle coming off the bench. The problem is, he doesn't swing. He is much more functional on the left side. That's where Jones should be, and Fataanu should be projected on the right side. My concern is that this pick is as much about next year as it is this year, that the Steelers will be plenty happy to deputize Fataanu for most of 2024 with an eye toward elevating him to a starter in 2025 after Moore leaves in free agency. The Steelers aren't good enough to be doing that with first-round picks. Nor with second-round picks, as we saw last year when Joey Porter Jr. started to play more frequently after the Week 6 bye, and he put a jolt in the secondary. If Fataanu proves incapable of starting or struggles in training camp, so be it. If he's not ready, he's not ready. Soak a few more starts out of Moore. But the Steelers need to make the 2024 draft about, well, 2024. There will be another one in 2025. We shouldn't have to wait until then to love this year's pick. Rossini, 49ers discussing Brandon Aiyuk, Deebo Samuel trades to move up in first round of NFL draft. It's not just wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk who could be on the move via trade during the 2024 NFL draft. It could be star receiver Deebo Samuel, too. According to The Athletic's NFL insider Diana Rossini, the San Francisco 49ers have had conversations with teams, including one inside the top 10, regarding Aiyuk and Samuel via trade to allow the 49ers to move up in the first round. Aiyuk has been at the forefront of trade discussions this offseason. Entering the final year of his rookie contract that saw the 49ers pick up his fifth-year option last year, Aiyuk wants a new deal that would put him among the highest-paid NFL receivers. But the 49ers and the veteran receiver have yet to reach an agreement, creating some buzz that the 49ers could trade him. Reports surfaced that Aiyuk requested a trade from the 49ers a few weeks ago, but his agent quickly shot that down via Twitter. As for Samuel, he's entering the second year of a 3-year, $73.5 million contract extension with $58.1 million guaranteed that he signed in July 2022. Currently, Samuel carries a $28,633,765 cap hit. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been connected to Aiyuk via trade rumors and speculation in recent months, especially after they traded wide receiver Deontay Johnson to the Carolina Panthers in mid-March and didn't exactly address the position properly in free agency or via trade, yet. 2 weeks ago, Odyssey NFL insider Jason La Canfora reported that the Steelers were trying to make something happen via trade at the receiver position before or during the draft. Reports later surfaced that the Steelers had reached out to the 49ers regarding Aiyuk, but nothing materialized. 49ers insider Mike Silver stated on the 93.7 The Fan PM show Thursday that the Steelers are currently not in play for Aiyuk, but added that things could change quickly. As for Samuel, though he signed a big money extension, his injury history and age, along with his overall price tag, make him an interesting piece to move for the 49ers. Samuel is 28 years old and has missed 6 games the last 2 seasons. He was also injured in the playoffs last year when the 49ers made a run to the Super Bowl. In his career he's hauled in 283 passes for 4,122 yards and 19 touchdowns, adding 160 carries for 1,007 yards and 19 touchdowns as a dynamic dual-threat weapon for the Niners. But that workload has taken a toll on Samuel physically. Shopping one of the 2 receivers to move up in the first round and potentially land a younger, cheaper receiver seems like smart thing to do for the 49ers, who sit at number 31 overall in the first round after winning the NFC last season. Things could get very interesting this evening the deeper we get into the first round of the NFL draft. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Brandon Aiyuk? Leave your opinion in the comments.